National Security Advisor Susan Rice paired alongside the phrase, Susan Rice has a blind spot, genocide. Let me bring back in the rabbi whose organization put out this ad. Back with me, also with me now, Yousef Munayyer, Executive Director of the U.S. Campaign to End the Israeli Occupation. Thank you, gentlemen, for both being with me as well. Let me get Yousef in here, and Rabbi, then I'll get back to you as well. What is your take on this ad? What do you make of this ad?
Well, I think it's unfortunately part of an effort to really attack an administration that is attempting to act in the American national interest to resolve an issue of international concern with its partners on trying to make sure that Iran is in line with its obligations under the Non-Proliferation Treaty. And what we've seen instead is this effort by folks like the rabbi and by Benjamin Netanyahu to undercut the effort by the administration to advance this agreement, which would be in the American national interest. So it's really, I think, inappropriate and in fact dangerous when we have foreign leaders coming to the United States to challenge a president who's trying to keep the United States out of war. The reality is the American people are tired of going into wars in the Middle East, which could be completely avoided. And what is happening today is that this effort, this ad, and Mr. Netanyahu's speech and other things like that are trying to make the path to war far more hasty and trying to make confrontation far more likely.
Yousef,
and Americans are just tired of this.
Yousef, if we have the sound, I do want to play for you what Susan Rice did say on PBS this week, talking about, we don't have the sound, but what she said is that she believes that the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu coming to speak and address this joint meeting of Congress at this time is destructive to the fabric of the relationship between the United States and Israel. The rabbi saying, look, this is a response to that comment, which he and others found deeply offensive.
Well, it's not just him speaking here that is destructive to the fabric of the relationship. It's the policies that he represents, right? It's the policies that he represents in the occupied Palestinian territories, where he runs a regime that's denying the basic human rights of Palestinians, the expansion of Israeli settlements against international law and stated U.S. policy, the hasty move towards confrontation with Iran, despite the fact that America is working with its allies around the world to try to avoid that. These are the things that are putting Mr. Netanyahu in direct confrontation, not just with the White House, but with an American people who is tired of this approach and is also growingly concerned about what is happening to Palestinians at the hands of this Israeli state.
Let me bring the rabbi in. Rabbi, I know you were with me before the break, but your response to Yousef.
You know, in 1938, Czechoslovakia was dismembered by England and France and Germany, with Nazi Germany, in a conference that they were not allowed to attend. Just imagine that. Everything was about their future and their security. They weren't allowed to be there. Iran is negotiating with the United States, and Israel is not allowed to be at those negotiations, even though Iran is close proximity to Israel, has threatened the annihilation of Israel. Now, the Prime Minister of Israel says, listen, if you're not going to let me even be at the negotiations, let me at least come and talk to your legislature. And then the National Security Advisor of the United States says that speaking out, that just talking will destroy the fabric of a relationship. Do we not believe in the First Amendment? What is going on here? Why are they attempting to silence the Prime Minister of Israel? That's the only question. Why is this administration so threatened by what he's going to say? It's only a speech. Is anyone threatened by what I'm saying? Yousef and I are having a dialogue. We don't agree, but we don't silence each other. Susan Rice's attempt to silence the Prime Minister was outrageous, and our ad was a direct response to that you have a government threatening a second Holocaust of the Jews, 6 million Jews who live in Israel, and we are not going to be silent. We were silent in the 1930s and 40s, and that resulted in 10,000 people being gassed a day at Auschwitz. Jews do not walk into gas chambers anymore. We will rattle the cage, and we will be vocal that we are human beings who deserve to live. We're tired of Jews shot and killed in Europe, Copenhagen and Brussels and France. We are just tired of it, and we are going to be vocal. And if it makes people uncomfortable,
gentlemen,
we're sorry.
Rabbi, thank you very much. Yousef Munayyer, thank you very much. We have to get a quick break in. I'm back in a moment.